Hey, welcome back to Confidence Conversion. I've got the Wolfe of Real Estate, Erica Wolfe. That was the worst introduction ever, but let's keep it. Erica Wolfe, listen to these numbers, everybody. Jupiter, Florida, 13 years in the business, 78 transactions last year, $46 million in volume in 2021. And this year, already at $38 million in volume. And it's April, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about how to create know, like, and trust and stalk people on the internet so they fall in love with you and buy houses from you, and time savers for transactions. And we've got super jokester. Let's not even edit any of this. Yeah. Super coach Jason Pantana here as well. Erica, very quickly, give us like a little moment in time. When did this whole video thing and internet marketing thing start to work for you?
Well, I think because I got my license at 21, I started using video, just Snapchat, to stand out. Right. Like, put on the filters, got comfortable, and realized, holy crap, people are like actually buying a house from me because of this. Right. And then I'd post them to Facebook, and I really wasn't on Instagram until, I don't know, 5 years ago. Right. But it was Snapchat and Facebook. Joined some Facebook groups back then with real estate agents doing videos. 2012-ish, I would guess, I learned how to run a funnel. So, and you get better retargeting with videos. So that's kind of the quick of it.
Okay, so today we're talking about confidence and conversion, and you ooze confidence. The whole Wolfe vibe is super rad. And like, I've asked you to speak a couple times at a couple of our different conferences, and everybody raves about the retargeting strategy and the time-saving strategy. We want to undo both today. So walk us through, like, my note is people work with people that they know, like, and trust, even when they've never met them.
Yes.
So walk us through the playbook. And Jason, interrupt as often as you can, not in a rude way, but just to make sure we, unpack all the details. How do we do what you've done?
So I think because I started making videos as a joke, it was hard to get away from that. Really? Like, I was just being fun, or I was saying, I was talking crap about other agents.
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, and this was bad. No, this was bad. But like, people were like, oh my gosh, you're being so real and unfiltered. And so I started realizing what videos got more attention. Right. And then I realized I was not making friends with a lot of agents. Weird.
Yes. Funny how that happens.
Consumers liked it, agents not so much. Yeah. So I really started shifting it and begun the education journey of it, right? Like, not only was I born and raised in Jupiter, Florida, if you ever want to send me your referrals, little plug there.
Shameless self-promotion.
Not only was I born and raised there, and I could tell you every neighborhood, every street. I knew what family grew up in that house. I could actually educate you, no matter if I was 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, like whatever, right? I would sell them on that. But it became so easy when I could put some money behind it, and people really thought I was just everywhere. And I'm like, no. I'm just paying to be everywhere.
Right. So unpack for us, you would create one piece of content called Moving to Jupiter, Florida. I'm just making this up. And then how would I see it, depending upon what platform, what retargeting strategy did you use? Like, unpack it for, I don't know anything that you're talking about. Yeah. Speak to me like I'm a 6-year-old.
Jupiter and all of that was probably a little later on, but definitely was education, what to look for in a house, what new communities are coming around in the house. And I was really targeting buyers to start out. And so I would run an ad, hey, this new development is coming up. Here's our price points. Here's this, here's that. You need me because if you pick out the wrong flooring, you're going to lose money. I'd run an ad. Facebook, right? They'd see that. Next video would tell them about contract negotiations, or maybe about the school systems, or whatever kind of educational video I was putting out there. Whatever got best attention organically, I was then putting money behind it. And I would just always try to choose 4 to 5 videos. There wasn't necessarily a rhyme or reason in the beginning. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up, is they think that it has to be this powerful message, or what was the script exactly, word for word, that you said that got that deal done. It was never that. It was just the consistency of seeing it, right?
So basically, so we're on Facebook, so you're making organic videos. They're just talking about tips for buying or new construction or whatever it is. Did you boost those on Facebook just the first round?
Well, I don't boost.
Okay, so everything was done in the ads manager.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I was taught because I did pay a sales funnel guy to teach me.
Yes.
And he wasn't real estate, right?
Yeah.
It was just the general
Right.
sales funnel.
Right.
I never boosted.
Okay.
I always never.
Yeah. So straight into the ads manager platform.
Always created
and-
audiences who watched
Right.
my video 3 seconds, who watched my video 10 seconds, who watched 25%, who watched 50%, and the gold mine, who watched 75% of my
Right.
video.
Yep.
Right.
That's my gold mine
Right.
one, right? And I'll section them off by town, houses, locations, literally any video. You can put any video.
How
out
often
there.
were you doing this? So like round 1 is I'm going to target everybody, the widest possible audience with my basic content. Round 2 is
I wasn't
I'm
that-
going to retarget.
Yeah, so I wasn't that busy, so I spent a lot of time on the computer
Yeah.
and pretending I was busy on
Yes.
video,
Yes.
right? And that's the great thing when you're not busy is you can make a lot of content.
Yes.
So I mean weekly.
Okay.
Weekly, I'm changing up what I was doing. Now I'm at a point where it's 5 videos and it's every 90 days I'm switching out.
Okay.
And for the person that doesn't understand retargeting, what does that mean?
So retarget is a pixel or a tag that can be on
For the
your
person who doesn't understand what a pixel
I know,
means,
I'm
Yes.
like-
You know,
I'm like a
I'm just trying to
code-
keep it as simple as possible
Yeah.
for,
a
you know.
code
yes.
by a really smart person
Yes.
that put it
It's
on
in-
videos or
Yes.
websites.
Right.
And if you plug it in or have your website manager plug it in for
Mm-hmm.
you, it can track everything you're doing on the internet. Just like when you say, hey, I really need a new vacuum, and all of a sudden you get vacuum ads. It's
Right.
the same concept.
Yep.
And it's actually one of the cheapest ways to advertise.
I agree.
Yeah, so and I heard a couple of things. So basically the pixel is I can retarget people with ads for people who are already on my website or a specific web page that the pixel gives Facebook optics on who was on that website. But then also Facebook gives you a lot of ability to retarget people who watched a certain portion of your videos,
Right.
which those are called engagement audiences.
And I did this one seller's funnel and I felt like super happy before Facebook changed all of its targeting. And it was like, hey, so I know you just saw this video and I
Yeah.
mentioned whatever. And
Right.
it's like, I'm glad you're here because today we're going to talk about this. And then the next one was saying that you watched that one. And I would go through that cycle and I would change those up literally probably every 2 to 3 weeks. And they're like, how did you know I watched that much
Right.
video? And you could get as complex as that, but I don't think the everyday real estate agent would ever go
No,
that
and
far deep.
I think
or
at the end of the
have a need
day,
to.
I think at the end of the day, you're still playing for the same thing. I see you everywhere.
Right.
That's the net.
I was thinking about and I won't say the agent's name, who sent me a photo once, and she's like, I literally see you everywhere. And she was on Tinder, took a screenshot, and there was a Tom Ferry ad. I just texted her back and said, you're on Tinder. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? But it's implied, like if we know people work with people that they know, like, and trust, whether they met you or not. I fall in love with you because I like your smiling eyes. I like your personality. I like your energy. You understand the marketplace. I want to work with you. How many retargeting ads do you find before somebody finally reaches out and engages?
Some it could be like the second one. Some they've been in my funnel for like a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just depends. It's all over the place. I have found from when we were running the CMA home value ads.
Yes.
From when somebody enters their address, and shout out to my coach, David Caldwell, because he's made me track every single lead that
Yes.
comes in.
Good.
And how it's about 8 months before they pull the trigger on listing a home from the
Yes.
CMA home values
Yes.
that we're seeing. But when they come in, we're sending weekly mailers to those people. We are making sure they're
High
retargeted
intent.
with a whole bunch of our listing videos.
Yes.
And we do a lot of like seller tips videos,
Yeah.
really. All of my videos at this point are location and seller based.
Yes.
I don't have videos out for buyers currently because, well, we don't have inventory. I don't need more buyers.
Exactly.
So you can shift how, what your target audience is too. We're trying to take over a higher price point right now.
Yep.
So I'm really looking at a specific neighborhood and we're going to make like a whole video series on that. And
Yes.
it's all going to be a series of retargeting. So I have 5 videos planned out and it's about the neighborhood, about the type of houses you can get, what schools you're going to go to. And they're just going to be retargeting. More at like a 50% watch rate because those are going to be more high intention.
So it's searching for homes for sale in community X.
Yes.
And boom, you're showing up.
Instead of just Jupiter, I'm choosing a specific neighborhood.
And are you doing that on YouTube first, or is it Facebook first? Is it TikTok first? Is it Instagram first?
My
is
plan
it all the above?
TikTok and YouTube.
Smart.
I want to try just those. I've only been running TikTok ads for the past week, but they seem to be doing really well so far.
It's good.
Right. Okay. So anything else on this before we shift gears? Because I want to get to another topic.
I got one question, and then we'll go to the next topic. So I think for a lot of people watching, they're like, oh my goodness. Okay, so first layer is they see my video, they watch a certain portion of it, or they go to a specific website, and then I enter into this retargeting domain. And in marketing, there's this thing called an ad sequence, which is kind of like they have to see this one, and then it's this one, and then it's this one. And that sequence could be like 50 layers deep.
Correct.
Yes.
How many layers of retargeting are we going? I'm assuming just the one layer.
Well, I used to go super, super deep on it, but now just because of time, I found I wasn't running ads or updating them or refreshing them because I knew it would take me a day to like change up the sequence. So now I've made it super simple. Like this one page I want people to go to, or on my mailers where we say this neighborhood just sold with the QR code that goes to the video. Everyone that watched that video is going to get our next video in that community. I've really tried to simplify it instead of over complicating it, because I'd really like for my operations manager to start running these for me.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's about how do I get attention and how do I get people to take action based upon that attention and position myself as, oh, I see you everywhere.
And the money's in the retargeting, but also you can't just start it and in 6 months think like it's going to work out perfectly. No. It's like a year-long retarget audience, super committed, and it may even take longer than that first year, but it takes a while to build these audiences.
And again, we're talking sellers, not buyers, so the seller cycle is way longer than the buyer cycle. We've been thinking about it. 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 Let's go look online. There's nothing for sale, but I keep seeing your ads.
Correct.
You build that trust. You create that trust. Yeah. And we're talking about confidence and conversion here. You want to talk about conversion? The best listing appointment is you walk in, they already know you.
Exactly.
And you've never met them before.
So this may segue a little bit differently because that is how I completely relied on my business. Previously was they called, hey, we see you everywhere. We see your listings. Come sell this house.
Yes.
Those were the only listings I was getting. Now I have to call these people.
Yes. Yes. How's that working out?
It's working out really, really, really well.
Good.
Because
are you calling the same people that you're retargeting, or are you calling a different list?
Yeah. If they come in with a CMA, I'm now calling. I'm not relying just on the video or just on the mailers.
Smart.
It's picking up the phone and not even just a text message, because I would avoid a phone call like you wouldn't believe it. And I think a lot of agents do. And I think because
you.
Really? No.
We're going to find out just how far she'll go in the last section.
Exactly.
So
how's it working out?
Really well. Pick up the phone. I was leaving it to the low-hanging fruit, and now following up with all of them, it's really
you actually have to harvest the crop.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And it's easier to have a conversation with them, be like, oh, I'm out of town that week, but I'm going to send Carrie over and she's amazing. You're going to love her. Like that phone call conversation rather than them seeing the video and then somebody else showing up.
For sure. Making that natural handoff, that natural segue.
Yeah, and I think the lesson there is I know some agents where they have no retargeting, no videos, no brand online. They're working leads, but it's kind of cold. But then when you have the combination of, well, she does have videos, she's building a brand, she has kind of weight to throw around in terms of building thought leadership. So when she makes those calls, she's so much better primed for a conversion at that point because she's done both the branding, marketing, video side, and then the call.
Well, they're like, hi, Erica.
Yeah.
I watch all your videos, right?
I'm your biggest fan.
Right, exactly.
I went to a listing appointment on Sunday for somebody that would like to sell in January of 2023.
Yeah.
I said, great.
Perfect. I'll come right over. Okay, so let's talk about one of the great conversations you had. I think it was the January Elite. I think you did a little bit on the summit, or maybe it's just January Elite, which was you created what I would call simply FAQ videos for buyers and sellers under contract that answer the question and save you an enormous amount of time.
Correct.
Everybody wants to save time in this marketplace. So give us the concept and what should they do if they want to implement the same?
Well, I think it's like 2 points. When you have a transaction coordinator and your people start hearing from somebody else, they want to feel like the agent they hired is still involved.
Right.
So having a video with my face explaining every step of the transaction, it was that, but then also saving me from the phone calls. Our emails are pretty black and white, like meat and potatoes. Rather, this is where you're at. This is this. If you want more information, click the video for a more detailed explanation of what's going on.
Yes.
Because if you send a whole long email with all of this written out, it's going to get lost.
Yeah.
And not everyone watches these videos, but the people that want to know everything, they're the same people that are going to pick up the phone and say, what if this happens?
Yes.
And then what if that happens?
Yes.
And it's like, hey, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. You know, you're constantly having those conversations. You're able to say, you're at this point in the transaction, at the inspection, please make sure you don't show up for the last 30 minutes. We'll give you a call ahead of time because you want to make sure we're not interrupting our inspectors at this point. We want to make sure they get the job done. And then once you arrive, they'll go over everything that needs to be done. Once you've reviewed the inspection report, we're going to submit a request. Like, we go over.
You just went into Erica Wolfe Real Estate video voice, by the way. Did everybody else hear that? She's like, and once we go through it, we'll go through it together and everything will be fine.
They call it my phone voice.
Yes. Yes.
Fun voice.
So you obviously experienced a lot of pain that typically would drive to a change like this. You didn't go, God, here's a great idea.
No.
You probably were like, I am so tired of getting the same phone calls over and over again. Or what was it?
Well, I mean, I was a control freak, one.
Was?
I mean, still am, but like, I'm a lot better because delegation has made my life a lot better.
Yes.
I was just always in survival mode.
Yeah.
And realizing I hit the breaking point, and I'm sure I shared this with you before. My husband's like, I'm going to leave you if you don't stop working so much.
Right.
And it's like, how do you hand over the pieces? How do you know this person understands? How do you know they're having the proper conversations with your clients that I've worked so hard to get to know, like, and trust me? So they get to see my face again.
Nice.
That was my solution.
So you just went in, you basically, I'm assuming you outlined, here's all the moments of the transaction where there's breakage or concern.
So I literally put up a green screen. At the time I was at my house, and it was installed in the guest bedroom. We just wind it down. It came down like a curtain. Of course.
Nice.
And so I just sat there and I had a conversation. I went through every timeline and I just kept the camera rolling.
Yes. Yes.
And that's it. I just had a conversation. It wasn't scripted. It was everything I would say to somebody who was asking every question.
Yes.
And I think with this, and with any video actually, what you need to do is really listen to what your consumer keeps asking you. Like online, on videos, comments, everything, but also during a transaction. Like, what questions do you get more than 3 times? If you have it more than 3 times, you probably need a video on it.
You're right. You're right.
100%.
You know,
this is how I create all my content. So yes, I agree. I agree.
All right.
So, like, even with agent-to-agent referrals, right? Totally different segue.
Yes.
But I have the Moving to Jupiter video. I have a Jupiter relocation guide. I have, here's our email, here's our blog post on it, and it's preset in my phone, and it's Jupiter referral, right? And when somebody tags me in a post, I shoot the message to whoever it was, and they're like, oh my gosh, you have a video on it, you have a relocation guide, you have this, you have that. Like, why would we use anyone else? I'm like, exactly.
Exactly.
Why would you? So that's really the big takeaway I've seen is listen to what your consumer says. If they've asked more than 3 times, you need a video on it.
I'm thinking of like Jalen and Jacoby. Give the people what they want, right? Exactly.
Totally.
Nice. So Jason, kind of closing thoughts on this as we wrap up confidence and conversion here?
Yeah, I love it. I love the idea of a green screen. I think it's super simple. Basically take a blank contract. Every time there's a deadline or a timeline or a fill in the blank, start talking about that, have an editor chop it up. When you're sending the emails, what are you all sending through?
So this is like the #1 question I got after it. Everyone wants to know. You can use any platform. I mean, you could use Google Drive. You could even use Google Photos. You could use Dropbox. You could use
because you have an admin who's actually firing off the emails manually.
Well, ours are
correct?
Already templated with that, and it pre-fills. Like I have it built out. I use RealVolve as Sarah.
Yeah,
like, but it doesn't matter. The
Follow
system,
Up Boss, Boomtown, Chime, name it.
Whatever
everybody's
you
got
use.
everybody's got something.
Yeah, whatever you use, and it's just a link.
Right.
It's just a link to. And it says, instead of like what the video is, it says click here to
and you
learn
hyperlink
more.
the text.
And exactly.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I'm assuming this is not like on your main page of YouTube that everybody can watch. These are private videos, right? But when they get there, didn't you say that they would literally see every FAQ video? So if they wanted, they could go into the future and right? Do you find that people do that?
Mine used to be Google Drive, so thank you. I still thought they were. I'm like, oh, I forgot I did that. That was smart. Yes. YouTube, private list, buyer one and seller one. Yeah. And they can go down and watch all of them.
It's perfect. And do people actually, do you hear people watch 5 or 6 videos in a row and go, now I get it?
Well, my favorite is when somebody texts me a question, I didn't get back to them quick enough. They go, never mind, I watched your video.
That's the best. Well, that's the best.
I mean, we're talking confidence and conversion, but you and I both know today, if you're a really successful agent, it's about how do I get more time back?
Correct.
So if you're listening right now, this was a time saver, right? Which also gives you more confidence. So, all right, as we wrap it up, where do they follow you on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you want to connect with them?
It is Wolfe of Real Estate.
Wolf with an E.
With an E.
Yeah.
On all platforms.
Wolfe of Real Estate.
Or they can just go to a web page, get pixeled, and retargeted.
Exactly. And
perpetuity.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Mastermind. All right, Jason. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share, connect with the Wolfe of Real Estate, connect with Jason Pantana. Give us more comments. Let us know what else you want to know, and we'll promise to deliver. All right. We'll see you guys soon.